drones. Drone is a vague word, and it means different things to different people. Okay? A drone generally means it's unmanned. There's no person there. Therefore, it's relatively safe for men. Because if you blow up an airplane without a man in it, you don't lose a life. You lose an airplane. Same with a ship, a submarine. So drone, generally speaking, means unmanned. So they have words for that. They call that an unmanned aerial vehicle, UAH. That means in the air. The one on the ground is an unmanned land vehicle, ULH, vehicle. On the water, it's a W. Okay. And then to define them, because we can have little ones that we're going to talk about and work with, and we can have big ones. And a big one can be as big as an airplane. And a little one can be as little as this. We've got one maybe next week I'll show you that fits on your wrist. You can walk around and it lands and takes off from your wrist. So tiny ones. Okay. What we work with is mostly called micro drones, a certain size and a certain weight. This one comes from China. It's called a LiteBee. Okay. So hopefully what we're going to do by Christmas, each of you will be qualified to fly a drone and code it, to make it fly by typing in stuff and so on. So we're in hopes that we can fly 10 drones. So each of you will probably have to fly 2 drones. And they're going to do things in the sky. And they're going to dance. We've already got all this done. Okay? They're going to light up Christmas colors, red and green and white. We can make a Christmas star. We can make anything we want in the sky. But we've got to know how to fly it. So it comes as a package like this.
That's pretty big. Dang, you finished yours? Yeah. I already finished mine. Yeah, mine.
No problem putting on my hair is
I know.
Here's
No.
it. Why does that look like that's cool?
Mm-hmm.
Bottom, top.
The original trash.
Okay. Where do you go to school?
Here. Here.
Where do you go to school?
Venable Village.
Okay. Where do you go to school?
Venable Village.
You?
Live Oak Middle School.
Okay. Your school has these now. During the summer, for the elementary school, they got 130 some of these. Okay. Middle school's got a bigger one.
Yeah,
So there's less middle schools. So basically, mine come in a package like this. Come here, sweetie. Hold that up.
Yeah,
there.
to hold it up. Make sure you use it.
Okay. So here is different part. Hold it. Can you just hold it a minute? There.
Here, I'll trade seats with you now.
Here's a modem. Okay, or a router.
Never mind.
Most of you have this in your house. If you have Wi-Fi in the house, you have a router. So for what we're doing, you have to learn about Wi-Fi. Okay. This is a charger for batteries. These batteries have to be charged. And you can see this company works, most of these are going to look like Lego blocks or Lego bricks. So we can print many parts of this.
I still have them. I still have them.
So here we have 4 micro drones.
These look
So now, be very careful of these. These are very delicate and break very easy.
Don't break them. No, that's you, bro, they actually put Legos at the bottom of it to hold it. I can see so many Lego pieces. You see this one, you got that one.
Yeah, I actually see
That
some.
one, this one, you got that one, you got this,
Okay,
that's.
let it go down now. Okay, let's look at the drone. Have a seat.
Here.
You're gonna see it's very clever. It's built with Lego blocks. So we can 3D print a lot of things for the drone ourselves. Okay, relatively easy. Okay. On the front, you'll see a camera. They almost all have one camera. Okay. And this is called a quadcopter. Quad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Quad. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they have them as big as 8, where they have 8 of these, and they're big. So if you want to lift more stuff, then you need a bigger one. If you want it to fly more, you might need different propellers, different motors, and so on. So
Trisha, I think
here's your charger for your motor.
Mhm.
1,
Such a second.
2, 3.
It's you.
Now, listen very close. When you're moving to this, you're moving to a new world of batteries. These batteries are very small, very powerful, and relatively dangerous. This is where you've got to put some brain power in from school. Okay? You have to learn what we call Ohm's law. How much that battery volts will have. What is full charge? What isn't? Because if you're flying the drone through the sky and the battery goes dead, what's going to happen?
It's gonna fall.
It's going to drop on somebody's head or on a car.
On the
They will not be very
sidewalk.
happy. So you have to know the power of the battery. Okay?
Where do you put the battery?
So, let me see.
There's a slide
You
on
can
it.
see
Back here, so-
always where the pins are, that's the contacts of a battery. So you pretty well know it's got to go in this way. Okay?
Oh, I found it.
Hold that off.
Where
Then you take the battery, you know where the pins go, and you'll see little, are you looking? Little things here and here for them to go in. So when you put it in, it's got to slide in those little notch and lock in place. Okay.
And
Got it?
I got, there's a Woody one in mine.
Now,
Wait, you could just take it off? Oh.
and more than likely, these batteries uncharged. Look down here. On the bottom is a little on-off switch, and it turns on.
How do you, what's, wow, that's cool. Trisha, how are you taking it out?
This?
Okay.
Yeah, the battery.
I
And
didn't
it
take it out.
won't
There's a
stay
Woody
on.
one in here.
Oh,
There, now it's on.
no.
If it keeps blinking, it's on. That doesn't mean it's charged enough.
I found it.
How do you take it off?
You don't need to. It's important to you right
You got 'em
How
on?
do you take it off?
now. I didn't switch mine.
I didn't.
Is it on? Push that little button
Where?
and hold it down.
Where is? Look. Oh. That black button.
Yeah. Now, no, don't do that. Take this guy and put him where he belongs, on top. Lock him in.
Shit.
Where's the
Only
black
have 3
button?
in it, so I'm sorry.
Is the
Anyway,
black?
look at this now. These are called modules. You can buy different kind for different reasons and put them on top, okay? Or theoretically, you can make your own. Those are Lego blocks, okay? And you have to push it in. Yeah, I'll let you do it. And then underneath, there's another one. Okay, these are different. This one's got lights in it. Okay, you can light it up different colors. This one reads the ground. Put it on the top, lock it in.
Where is he pushing
And what
the
comes
button?
with this here
Stupid idiot.
is a carpet.
Carpet day.
Okay.
What is this button? Is he just unlocking these buttons out of thin air?
I'm gonna put it all on. And the carpets are big. But they read a specific, what you call marker. So that thing at the bottom,
Where?
Wait.
this is what reads that. So it tells us where it's gonna go.
Push it on that. Push.
That's okay. We're not flying them yet.
Yeah.
So
Look, there's little lights here. That's what it's gonna.
that thing in the bottom reads
Oh, I found the
infrared. Do you know what infrared
button. I
is?
found the button right
Okay.
here.
A sensor is something that does what you do. You have eyes, a sense. You have what? Ears. You have nose. You have a mouth, taste, right? Touch. So those are senses. So they have sensors here, and this is one. So this camera reads like your eyes do. Okay? This one reads infrared. You know what infrared is?
Yes.
Okay, what
Well,
is infrared?
Where it detects heat
Infrared
energy.
is the top of the visible spectrum. And generally speaking, how do we use infrared? Anybody? Night goggles.
Night vision.
When you have night goggles,
Night
or like
vision.
in my house, I have a camera, security camera, and you turn all the lights out and you can see everything.
Night vision.
That's infrared. You have a certain kind of camera. That's what this reads. Therefore, when this flies in the dark, it will be reading this here. So if we tell it to go from here to there, at this height, they go over here and come down. And then we can tell this guy here to light up in different colors. Okay. We can make all kinds of things in the sky. So we can do it with 1 drone, 4 drones, in this case 10 drones, or you can use 500 drones. So now around the world they're using drones like fireworks. They have all this stuff going up in the sky, all from little tiny drones like this. These again are called micro drones. Okay.
How do you take the battery out? I didn't even replace mine.
So look, if you're not,
Now this kit comes with some other
push it down.
things.
Take this off first and then push it out. And then you'd be nice to
Do you pull it or like do you
Okay,
pull
now let's go over some rules on drones. There's indoor drones and there's outdoor drones. Outdoor rules are totally different than indoors, but the basic rules of safety are relatively the same, okay? So number 1, you do not fly over people, okay? That's number 1, okay? Generally speaking, you always have one person flying the drone, a pilot. You have a second person along with them, and that's called the observer. Because sometimes the observer is taking pictures and so on, the pilot's got to watch that drone. If the pilot's not watching the drone for whatever reason, he's got problems with the battery, the observer has to be watching the drone. You have to have somebody looking at the drone all the time. And it has to be in what we call line of sight. It cannot leave my vision when it's flying. That's called line of sight. Okay? So somebody has to see the drone from the time it takes off to the time it lands. Second thing is a landing zone. You have to have an area there on the ground marked so people know that's where the drone's going to take off from, and when it's in the sky doing its thing, it's going to come back and there might be people around. So that has to tell people where that drone is going to land. Okay? So nobody can be in that landing zone or that flight zone other than the pilot and the observer. Okay? Got it? This is very important. If you break one rule in competition, you're out of competition. They don't do that in football, but if you break a rule, let's say in football, theoretically they'd close down and go home. So, you cannot violate the rules of safety in drones. Okay. Any questions on safety? Yeah.
How do you change out the battery?
I'm sorry?
How do you change out the battery?
How do you change the battery?
Okay, that's important. One, the problem with these small batteries, let's get this guy out of the way. They do not last very long. 10 to 12 minutes. Okay? And if you're carrying something heavy, maybe 3 to 5 minutes.
Whoa.
So you have to have lots of batteries around. So basically, give me your battery. No, just a battery. Okay? You have what we call a multi-charger. And this fits in there just like it does your drone. Okay?
Yep,
And